Hey everyone, so just a really quick video today hopefully. We're going to be doing the rear calipers on the Hyundai. So the Hyundai hasn't been on the channel much, but it's gone through the MOT and it's just the parking brake efficiency that's causing the issue. I've looked online and it seems like quite a common issue when they start getting to this age. This little arm here is for the handbrake, and that gets stuck and gummed up and all kinds of horrible, and it just stops moving. So we had a quick look at it the other day. We got it moving, but it doesn't spring back. So we're going to get these nice new Febby Bilstein brake calipers on there. These were sent out by APD, so a huge thank you to them. Obviously they have been a long time sponsor of the channel. Normally the Fiesta, but they do help out in situations like this. And they've got us these really nice OE replacement, high quality parts. So I've always trusted Febby parts. I know a lot of other people do too. So yeah, huge thank you to APD for that. They're really, really nice, and it's certainly going to get us through the MOT. So let's crack on and do the work. Okay, so this is the caliper here that we're swapping out. We've done the discs, we've done the pads already, but we do need new calipers. So the first bit is going to be this bolt here. We're just going to break that free, make sure it's not stuck, make sure the head's not going to snap off, make sure that's all fine. Once we know that we can break this away, it's then going to be the two bolts here on the back. So you've got one on this sort of piston edge here, there's a bolt on the back, and there's a piston bit on the bottom here with a little rubbery bit, and then you've got the bolt on the back there. So it's going to be those two. That will free up the caliper. Once we've done that, flip it upside down, take out the rest of this bolt, put the cable up somewhere out of the way so it's not going to pour out from underneath. New caliper fixed on, and this one back on. So let's go ahead and start getting these bits apart. So got the 12mm. Yeah, there we go. So that is him loose. So now we know that that comes off easy enough. I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit. And now we're going to move on to the top and bottom bolts here, now that we know that that is loose. But yeah, nice easy 12mm on that one. Ping! There's the retaining clip. So all we were doing there was just removing the retaining clip from here, just because we're going to, as we undo this handbrake cable, it's got to come through this part of the bracket here, which is part of the caliper. So we can unhook it from here, feed it back through the new one, clip it in and put that down. So it's just getting that bit off for now, and now it's moving on to these two bolts. Okay, so it's the two bolts here now, so one here, they're 14s. Oh, how do I get the spanner the right way around? Yeah. There's our top one. So there's the first one. And the bottom one's a bit more tucked down here, just sort of below where the brake line goes in. He's nice and loose too, that's good. No seizing today. And there's the bottom one. So in theory this should now be, oh, the handbrake's off as well, so this now is nice and loose. So that is that part of it sort of disconnected now, and the caliper's coming out.
Where's your key?
Okay, so we're just going to get this off the rest of the way now. So this was the 12mm for the brake line. I believe it looks like a banjo bolt. So let's have a look. Just going to hold it up a little bit just so I don't, I try and save as much fluid as I can. There's that out, so that's the bolt. Yeah, it looks like a banjo. Looks like a banjo that also inserts inside the caliper. That's an interesting design. There we go. Right, put that back there. Right, now get this. There we go. So it doesn't need to be mega tight, just basically 90 degrees back up on itself. It just stops any fluid. If you just leave it hanging, it's just going to drop more fluid than what's necessary. And it just preserves more, so you don't have to top it up so much on the other end and don't have to bleed it so much on the other end. So now the cable isn't under tension, so we should, in theory, just be able to hook this cable off here. So you've got this little D-link on the end. it hooks around here, and we should in theory just be able to push this back and just unhook that from there because it's no longer under tension. So let's go ahead and get that bit done.
Coffee.
Oh, yeah. So what we're going to do is going to undo the spring. We should then be able to push the arm back without this trying to sort of resist, and that should allow us to unhook the handbrake arm, well, the lever, well, cable. So there's the spring off of the back of it there. That's that pushed back. So I'm hoping now we've got enough play in here to be able to unhook this, but they do tend to lock on fairly tight.
Come on, give me some more room. Done.
Cool, fantastic. There we go, so that's that off. So now it should pull through there, and there is our old caliper off. Oh, so make sure you take the copper washer off from where the banjo is. So there you go, there is a copper washer there. Okay, so here's the new one. So this is the left hand side because we're on the passenger side of the vehicle. So we're pretty much just going to be doing what we just did but in reverse. There is a lot of tension on there now, a lot more than before. So I can barely move that. The old one you could move quite easily by hand. So we're definitely going to have to take the spring off, allow us to push this back, feed the handbrake cable through, attach it on here first, so then we can rotate this down and onto there, and then we can get the banjo back in, except, well, we can get the bolts back in and then finally the banjo back in. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that done. So another thing to mention on these as well is making sure these notches here are at 12 and 6. So if you're replacing them or just repairing them or taking this off and putting this back on, those notches are top and bottom because that is where they will line up with the notches on the pads, on the back pad. So on the back pad on the top and bottom here, you'll have notches that these will go into, and that's what you need it to do to properly bed in and line this up properly so you don't get uneven brake wear, etc. So just something to note on these is something you need to do. It isn't just a flat piston on there. There is a reason to those notches. Okay, so same as before, just in reverse. I've got that spring off now. That was far stronger than the old one, but I can get this, I've managed to push this arm back now. So same as before, we're just going to push that through there, and then the hard part is probably going to be getting it to hook back over, because it's not a simple case of hooking over, it has to bend back on itself, but we do have the ability to maneuver the actual caliper now. So I'm hoping, with a bit of persuasion, it's so close. There you go, got it. There we go. So we've got that hooked over. So you can see there we've got the bit hooked over now. So you've actually been able to manoeuvre this around as we can hook that on. And then once it's on, we can put this back into place and then get these bolts in, and then finally the brake line. So okay, so the next part is getting these two bolts back in. So we've also got the spring back on the back here. Don't forget to put that spring back on there. That is the return mechanism. So now it's just going to be lining these up so that these bolts go in, which is easier said than done sometimes. Got it.
Yeah, you're engaged.
It is engaged. That is also engaged. Just about. Other way. I'm doing it now, aren't I?
Turn it upwards.
Okay.
Clean up copper washer and banjo.
Well, as I say, put the retaining clip in now.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that was just putting back in the retaining clip here. So once we're happy that those bolts are done up, that's seated properly, the handbrake's in and the spring's on, we're happy that that setup is done, we put the retaining clip back in to hold that cable in place now. So the last bit is going to be getting the cable tie off of this and putting the banjo back in its place. So there are two copper washers, one goes on the bolt side and the other will go on the other side of the banjo, so you're kind of pinching it together. So one copper washer's against the face of the caliper and one is against the face of the bolt, so that when it goes in there the banjo is in between and the copper washers seal it. So it's going to give them a quick clean as well. Okay, so we've got the pipe set up. So it's bolt, washer, banjo, washer, rest of bolt thread. And on the bottom here, you'll see there's this little lug. This lug, you'll see there's a hole right next to where the banjo goes in. It's going to take the cap out, and it will insert into there as you do it up. So it's like a little locator lug. So that it just shows you where it's supposed to go and tells you it's at the right orientation. In the minute, I will flip the camera around and show you once it's in, so you can have a proper look at what it looks like. But that will just tell you that the orientation is correct on your banjo, and that you've got it done up in the correct way as well. So I'm just going to do this up. There we go. And he was a 12. Right, so that is nice and tight. So give me a moment. Okay, so here's the banjo, and you can see that little lug just in beneath it there, and that's what's telling us that it's located properly. So it's at the right angle for when it's going to be fitted to the car. We've given it a quick clean, so all the brake fluid's off of it as well, because we are going to bleed it, which is using this little bleed nipple up above, but we have got the other side to do first. So we're going to go ahead and get the other side done now, and then we'll just skip through that because you've just seen us do this side. But very easy, quick, simple job. To be honest, that was actually surprisingly easy. Having a banjo bolt is a massive advantage because they're so much stronger than the usual rubbish that you find on these things where the bolts snap and all the other rubbish. So yeah, really impressed with that, and this was nice and easy. I'm glad it all comes as one mechanism, makes it a lot easier. So let's go ahead and do the other side, and then we'll go ahead and bleed them. Okay, so we're going to go on to bleeding it now, which is this little bleed nipple here. I've just taken the cap off, and for that we're going to use the sort of brake bleeding bottle. Very useful bit of kit to make this a lot easier, and then also a bit of brake fluid as well. So just going to loosen this cap off here, just to sort of break it away. That's all we need to do. Get this on it, and I'll tidy it up in a moment, but we're going to get this over the end. That's hooked itself on there. There we go. So that is on there now, like that. So if I bring this in a bit closer, you can see that's tucked over the end of the bleed nipple there. This we're going to have to hang up somewhere a little bit higher. So let's have a look. There you go. That'll do. So we've got the bottle hung up. That's on there. We've broken the bleed nipple away. I might just do it a tiny bit more just to guarantee that it is open. There we go. Yeah, so that's free. So now we've loosened off the cap on the fluid reservoir, so I'll show you that as well. And we're just going to start pressing the brake, and it should feel very soft because all the pressure is going to be relieving out here. So that's going to feed up through into the bottle, and that's going to push out any air we've let into the system. So let's have a quick look at the bottle. Okay, so this is the reservoir on this car. It is slightly low now. It is nearer the bottom. I think that's just because we've lost a bit as we've been doing the work. But at the back of the engine here, so this little cap on it, that is now here. So we're going to top that up a little bit and then start pressing the brake. And that should be sort of pushing any air through and getting any air out of the system. So let's go ahead and get that done. Okay, so we're going to move on to the handbrake now. Now we've bled it through. So with that bleeder, what you're looking for is that pipe that goes from the caliper into the pot. You don't want any air bubbles in that pipe. So we're just topping up the reservoir, making sure it's near the max line, pressing the brake pedal. You sort of push it on down through and it won't stop. So normally it goes stiff after a few presses. It won't do that. So you just keep pressing it down in there and you'll see fluid come up out through the bleeder, and eventually all the bubbles will stop. There wasn't really many in there that time, so that was quite lucky. So we've bled the brakes, we're happy with that, and they were going nice and firm. So once they tightened it back up, you press the brake pedal and they go nice and firm. So now we're testing the handbrake, because we did have to loosen this. So now we need to see how many clicks we have on the handbrake. So I just managed 7 there on the handbrake. It's not bad, I must admit. I'd rather have sort of 5 or 6. So we're just going to show you how to very quickly tighten the handbrake on this car. So release the handbrake back down to there, and now we're going to go ahead and tighten it. Okay, so we've got the centre console here. I found it's easier to do from the back seat. So when you look down inside, you've normally got this little bit of card. Pop that out and you're left with this. Now I've put an additional bolt on here, but you see this bit here? That is our adjuster. Here's our 2 cables. This is our adjuster. So this is a 12mm on the adjuster. So I've got a 12mm, and I also put a 10mm nylock on the back to lock it in place. So I'm going to get the 12 first, and luckily these are ratchet spanners, which makes this job infinitely easier. But if I get that over there, and I'm just going to start doing this up when I can actually get it on. Come on. Okay. So we've done that up now, so you can see down in here the 12mm is pulled away a little bit from the 10. So you can see it's sort of pulled away a little bit, so there's a gap between the two, so I've tightened that 12mm, which is our adjuster. So now we're going to pull the handbrake. Max 6. So I'll do a tiny bit more, and then we'll get it sorted. Then we'll get it tightened up. Then so let's have a look. Yeah, I think that should probably be enough now.
1, 2, 5.
Cool. Right, I'm happy with that. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to tighten that 10mm up to the back of the 12. So it's just getting that tight then, and then we are done. Because I'll try and get the camera a bit closer, but if you can see there, the 12mm's gone up, and there's a little gap now to the 10mm. So we're going to tighten that 10mm up against the 12, and that should lock it in place and stop it from de-adjusting itself. Okay, so I've tightened it up against it now, so you can see the 10mm there is tight up against the 12 again, and also the cables are even. So you can see that the adjuster there's not one that's massively different to the other side. So before, this right hand cable was all the way up where it just wasn't doing anything, and this one was taking all the tension and pulling back. So now they're nice and level. Handbrake's only 5 clicks, so that is our job done. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. It's just changing the calipers over, so I hope you found that as a useful video. It was just one we sort of quickly did just because of this MOT issue. So it's quite easy on these, to be honest with you. It was just a simple case of 2 14mm bolts, a 12mm bolt for the banjo there, unhooking the spring and just feeding it through. So quite an easy job overall, to be honest with you. It hasn't taken us that long at all to do both sides, and it's all working as it is intended to. So yeah, hopefully you find this one useful, and that gets the Hyundai back on the road.